Okay. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Jackson Corona, and today I'll be demonstrating why I think I have a personal item. We're doing a little show and tell on why I think it's scarce. So my item here is a Tony Parker signed basketball shoe. How I came to get this in possession was from a Spurs basketball camp, and I got this at a camp when we did a competition in which we had to play a game of knockout, and then for reward, whoever won would get a pair of signed shoes from Tony Parker. For a little background too, Tony Parker's a international basketball player from France, and he played for the Spurs for numerous couple of years. He was a very talented point guard, and he helped them lead to several championships over the course of his time with the Spurs. So my reason for thinking that this item is scarce, and I believe it's scarce, is because one, it has two of the tactics that is discussed in the chapter with Caldini and the lectures. To start, first off, scarcity is how we value it is what we place value in objects and things and the worth that we label them with. So one of the tactics that's used in scarcity is the limited number tactic. And for evidence I have in the chapter here, Caldini states that probably the most straightforward use of the scarcity principle occurs in the limited number tactic, in which a customer is informed a certain product is in short supply that cannot be guaranteed to last long, page 273. And through this, we can kind of see the ways in which there's so many limited numbers of campers that are allowed into this camp, and then by result, there's so many limited numbers of shoes they can give out during the camp competition as well. So this kind of ties into my next point too, is like the deadline tactic as well. Like you have a deadline in which you can sign up for the camp, and then obviously a deadline in which you can earn the item that they're giving out. So for my second quote here, I have, the solution is to recognize that scarcity applies not only to the count of items, but also to the traits or elements of the items. First, identify a feature of your product or service that is unique or so uncommon that it can be obtained elsewhere at the same price or at all, page 276. And the way this kind of incorporates a deadline technique is that the language in which the item is available is only for like a limited number of time. So therefore, if it has a limited number of time in which it can be obtained, there's a deadline incentive, which kind of, eggs you on to want it more than you would if it was more abundant or you had more time to get it. And for my closing quote here, that kind of ties back to the item and the lecture itself, is not only do we want the same item more when it is scarce, but we want it most when we are in competition for it. And like I said earlier, in the competition, well, it was a game of knockout, obviously, so, you're gonna get a little fired up, emotions might get high, so obviously you're gonna want that a little bit more if you're competing with somebody else to obtain it. So that's my personal item, and that's why I think it's scarce. Thank you.